We're starting a brand new challenge today. We are going to do the ultimate decade challenge. We're gonna set up the world first, and we're gonna decide if we want to do long form content as like YouTube videos or streams here on YouTube, either way, but it doesn't matter. But we're gonna decide that, so please tell me in the comments what you like to see. I don't share this ageist belief, which means I don't condone any type of hate towards a specific group. That is not how it's supposed to be, it's just that we're playing a decades challenge. We're going back in time a little bit. Another thing, if we play live, it's gonna be here on YouTube, but I would probably make videos about it still. The videos would not be edited clips, but rather voice over parts in a semi-narrative dynamic, while we showcase the most important parts of each live episode. If it's only played on YouTube, like there's only YouTube videos, it will probably share the same format or similar, but without participating directly on the series, except for the comment section. I also plan on making shorts showing what happens during the video/live stream. At first I was thinking of like discussing the rules while showcasing the characters, like our main characters Elina and Uriel, but there's a lot of things to go through with the rules, so I'll leave that to the next step, which is the build. So meet Elina. This is Elina Teichmann and that's Uriel Teichmann. They only have 2 pieces of clothing because they are peasants, and I wanted to mimic that by not having that much clothing options on them. Apart from the swimwear and the clothes they wear for sleeping, they don't have much diversity on what they wear, and that is just how it is for them. Elina is still a teenager though, which might be a turn off for some people, but it's just how it was back then. So she's 13 at the beginning and he's already 20. I know, sucks. I don't want to think this, but if Elina and Uriel don't survive, we have the second best option, which is Otto Pendragon and Elira Pendragon. Elira is not Elina's sister, actually it's Uriel's sister. She is honestly my favorite character, but I can't just say much about that. She's a teenager. Actually, I think they're both teenagers. I'm not sure about Otto because I forgot. I could see that in a second before recording this. I don't know. But Elira is my favorite character. I think she is so beautiful. Look at her hair. I love it so much. And I just wanted to bring that joy into my gameplay. So we're gonna roll for most of the decisions they're gonna make, because I still kinda have to play with them, but with just rolls and stuff like that. So I have a backup plan if our main family dies. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm not a builder whatsoever, which means this might be really awful, but it also means that it has everything that is necessary so this challenge goes through. Except for maybe laundry stuff that I should put in, but I totally forgot, so I'll do that later. As it's the challenge, it has a lot of different things that we need to keep in mind. But let's first address what is this challenge. This is the Ultimate Decades Challenge. You might already know. It's Morbid Gamer's take on Zombie Cleo's Decades Challenge, but it goes way far back. We start in the 13,000s and we go all up to 2020, which is a lot if we think about it. We start as a family of peasants and we need a male heir, which for us is Uriel and maybe Otto. In this challenge, children will die a lot. So if you're sensitive to that topic, please just don't watch this, because we'll kill everybody out of like thin air, because they can disappear out of thin air. Children, toddlers, infants, babies, they're all subjects that can die at any point in time. So let's just pray to the dice gods that we actually can make them live for a little bit longer and maybe get the heir. The heir is always the eldest son until stated otherwise. I don't know if there's still rules for that, because I think she's updating it as she goes with events and a lot of different things like that, which is really funny. I chose to start as a semi-married couple, which is Uriel and Elina. Elina is a teenager, so she starts at 13 years old, as I stated before, I think. And maybe we should have only married them when she's 16, which is stated in the rules that a teenager can marry when they're 16 and they have to pay for a dowry. But we don't have well, money for that nor time, so we need to marry her as fast as possible. Let's just imagine she marries as a 13-year-old. It is still fucked up, it doesn't change the fact that it is, but I should state that it's not original on the rules that she should marry a older guy or something like that. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen back then. I also added the peasant lot rate. I think I didn't add it on the video, but I will add it later on because I need taxes. Yeah, we're gonna pay taxes. We have this guy that comes to our lodge every single Friday and goes like, "Ha, do you have $100 for me?" And I'm like, "No, but take it here," because I have the royalty mod, and that is gonna be super interesting, isn't it? We also have things like a bro that comes sometime around and then just, yeah, you don't want to trade food, I can sell you things and you can buy things or you can sell things. Like, we're gonna trade this little stuff here. The bro doesn't really have food, he actually has ingredients like flour, sugar, and sometimes meat. I don't know if he has fish, I don't remember, but I think he might have. Again, with the rules, because I keep on forgetting things, we can only harvest once a season, so I really have to take care of that, because I'm a person that if I see crops and I see there's things that I can actually harvest, I won't think twice and I'll do it. We can only harvest once a season. So for example, there's spring stuff, right? We have plants for spring, plants for summer, plants for winter, fall, because I have seasons. In spring, I can only harvest once. And seasons take a long time, so I really need to take care of that and be really careful. There's not much change to this until like 1315, which is the start of the Great Famine. That ends in 1517. I don't know if I'm saying that's correct, I don't know, I'm terrible with numbers. When this happens, we have to sell all of our livestock. Until then, we don't have to worry about much of the things. This is just events that take place in the specific area we're talking about, so don't worry about these events yet. We're gonna get there when we get there. Let's talk a bit about dice rolls, because here in this challenge it's very important to play with dice a lot and in luck and things like that. So we're gonna roll d20s for most of the things. There are some cases when the dice changes, but that doesn't matter here. This is the most important one. We're gonna roll for side households to see if they can marry, if they can't marry, how many kids they are allowed to have. Not really how many kids they are allowed to have, but rather how many pregnancy attempts they are allowed to have. There's numbers for that, and we're gonna get into that as we go. Still, there's rules for the main household as well. We need to roll if people live. Death rolls are really important in this challenge. For example, if there's a pregnant mom, she might die at any given point in time. Because if she gets a 1 in the dice, she's gone, she dies. The babies, there's I think 3 or 4 to see if the newborn babies can get to live another day. Infants, toddlers, every time you need to grow up, and there's specific times when you grow up, we have to keep track of aging manually. It's not just a matter of letting the Sims game roll, because the age counts is based on the 3 days pregnancy in the Sims. As you can see, I'm terrible at explaining things, so don't expect much. Either way, I just wanted to point out that this guy is really hot and that Elina is back then, so yay! My babies, because I really want him to be a husband later on, maybe someone else's husband, but he actually feels like a noble, so I can't do that soon, but he's hot. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay